Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Before we continue on, I will remind you once again that I am not a lawyer and I'm not certified to practice law in Vietnam. I'm just simply a foreigner from the United States who knows the labor code. So now we're going to go ahead and continue on with this little series. Last time I told you about Articles 111, Clause 3, Article 112, and Article 113. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about Article 6. We're going to talk about Article 6 today, rights and obligations of the employer. Right up there. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that today. Now, reason why I didn't talk about that previously when I said I was going to was because of the fact that the paid time off was in my brain and I had to get it out before, I forgot about it. So here we are, right here. Article 6, rights and obligations of employers, here and here. So you can go ahead and see that it is both in Vietnamese and English, right there. An employer has the right to, yeah, I know the antivirus has not been paid up yet. Too poor. So, Article 6, rights and obligations of employers. An employer has the right to recruit, arrange, and manage and supervise employees, give commendation, and take actions against violations of internal labor regulations. That's pretty standard. It basically tells them that they are allowed to do what they are meant to do, which is recruit employees, arrange, manage, and supervise employees. Again, standard procedure. Give commendation. That means give praise to employees when they do a good job. And take actions against violations of internal regulations. So that means they are able to not only praise but also punish. Now, employers also have the right to establish, join, and operate an employer representative organization, a representative organization for employers, occupational associations, and other organizations in accordance with the law. So it says that right there, letter B, letter B. Letter C right here, letter C right here. So we got that right here. All right. So letter C requests the representative organization of employees to negotiate the conclusion of the collective bargaining agreement, participate in settlement of labor disputes and strikes, discuss with the representative organization of employees about issues related to labor relations, and improvement of the material and spiritual lives of employees. Now, what does this mean right here? Very simple. All of this stuff that has to deal with labor unions and stuff like that doesn't really apply to foreign or English teachers because we're not allowed to have a union. At least that's as far as I know anyways. So essentially, the parts that do apply to English teachers are the fact that they are required to, let's see, I don't think any of this part right here actually applies to foreigner employees because this whole entire section basically deals with labor unions and stuff like that. But as far as they are required to discuss with the representative organization of employees about issues related to labor relations and improvement of the material and spiritual lives of employees. Now, here's the thing. Again, under the Law on Religion and Folk Beliefs, 2016 edition, that people are allowed to believe or not believe as they see fit as long as it does not affect the state or state interests. So if someone believes, that's great. If someone doesn't believe, that's fine too. Just focus on your work. But they are required to focus on the improvement of the material and spiritual lives of employees. So essentially, they are required to be sensitive to your religion if you have one. There are some religions, such as Islam, that requires their adherents to pray 5 times a day. Now, again, with me, when I have my own English center and I happen to get employees who are Muslim, I will specifically make sure that they have the appropriate time needed to attend their prayers. It's that important for them. It's that important for me, bar none. I don't believe the same thing they do, and that's true. But I will make sure that they are allowed to practice their religion in a safe environment. So moving on. Just to let everybody know, I use Islam and Muslim people as an example because of the fact we don't see a lot of Muslim people here in Vietnam. We also do not see a lot of Jewish people in Vietnam either, because mostly here in Vietnam, the religious makeup is pretty much mostly either Catholic or Buddhist. And there's a small smattering of other religions out there, including folk religions and Cao Dai. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really sure. Also, there's, again, other religions, but you don't really see very many people who are Muslim or those who are Jewish working in schools. Now, another thing I'm going to say on this before I move on is the fact that of those two religions, Islam and Judaism, both require people to wear head adornments of some kind, such as for women, they are required to wear the hijab for Islam because that is showing their spiritual piety. Nothing wrong with that. If you come to me, you are female, you are Muslim, you will wear your hijab. If you choose to do so. I'm not going to make you do it, but if you choose to as part of your faith, you will be allowed to do so. Now, for people who are also Muslim and they are male, they have an additional hat. If they wish to wear that, they can. Not a problem. For men who are Muslim and they wish to keep their beard, that's perfectly fine too. That's part of your religion, that's fine. Also, people who are Sikh, S-I-K-H, from India, they also do not believe in shaving body hair, which is perfectly fine. Also, okay, so we're trailing off on religion. We need to go and get back on track. My apologies. But suffice it to say, your employer is supposed to improve the material and spiritual lives of their employees. So moving on. Okay, so letter D. Temporarily close the workplace. Now, this can mean any number of things, like with Apex and how they closed all their centers because they couldn't pay their employees, yet they kept posting a $20 billion profit year on year. Yeah. And now they closed all their workplaces because they can't pay their employees, they can't pay rent or parents back or anything else. So now they temporarily close the workplace. Some of them are open back up, but not very many. Exercise other rights prescribed by law. So there we go. Now, clause 2. The employer has the obligations to, and focus on this because this is just the same as Article 5. Clause A. Implement the employment contracts, collective bargaining agreement, and other lawful agreements with employees. Respect the honor and dignity of employees. Article 6, Clause 2, Subclause A, last little portion. Respect the honor and dignity of employees. This means you do not have to act like Ronald McDonald anymore in order to teach English. It is not required. You should not have to act like a clown in order to earn your money. You should earn your money with honor, dignity, and respect. So if they are not willing to respect your honor, your dignity, anything like that, walk away. Because they are required to do that by law. They are also required to hold up their end of employment contracts, collective bargaining agreements, and other lawful agreements with employees. They are required by law to do so. That's what this is. Obligation means required to, meaning not an option. Now, here's the thing. Also, letter B. Establish a mechanism for and hold dialogue with the employees and the representative organization of employees. Implement the regulations on grassroots level democracy. This deals with the government so much, so I don't really know a lot about that. And I'm going to admit right here, I don't know a lot about this stuff. I'm only telling you about what I know personally. So this has to deal with labor unions and stuff like this. Moving on, letter C. Provide basic training and advanced training in order to help employees improve their professional skills or change their occupations. Yeah, they don't tell you about that either. So if you don't want to be an English teacher anymore, they are required to go ahead and provide you with basic and advanced training to help you change your occupation. So if you don't want to be an English teacher anymore, your employer is required to help you train for a different job. That's what that means. Now, if you want to be an English teacher, but you want to be a better English teacher, such as if you're a regular English teacher, you're in public schools, and you want to teach IELTS or something like that, then that means that your English center must go ahead and provide you the advanced training needed in order to help you improve your professional skills. So you go from regular public school teacher to IELTS instructor, that qualifies. In my opinion, that qualifies. Now, letter D. Article 6, Clause 2, Subclause D. Implement regulations of laws on labor. Please read that again very slowly. Take all the time you need. Implement regulations of laws on labor. This means your employer, no matter who they are, if they are an English center, if they are a big multinational corporation, who cares? They are required to implement regulations of laws on labor. This means they are required to obey the labor law. Just like in Article 5, how I pointed out how employees must obey the labor law, here in Article 6, Clause 2, Subclause D, employers are also required to implement regulations of laws on labor. And yes, I already proved before that foreigners are safe and they are protected by the Labor Code of Vietnam under Article 151, Clause 3. So this means that you're safe. Your employer is required to follow the laws, and as long as your employer follows the laws, you'll have nothing to worry about. But if they don't follow the laws, you can call them out on it because they are required to, and if they don't, they can get in trouble for it. So, moving on. So letter D says, implement regulations of laws on labor, employment, vocational education, social insurance, health insurance, unemployment insurance, occupational safety and health. Develop and implement solutions against sexual harassment in the workplace. This one is also self-explanatory. Implement regulations of laws on employment. Law on employment, that is a separate thing. Law on vocational education. Law on social health, unemployment insurance, occupational safety and health. These are all separate laws that they have to implement. So if you think being an employer is easy, it's not. But a lot of employers make it look easy because they don't want to obey the law in the first place. Develop and implement solutions against sexual harassment in the workplace. Now, sexual harassment as a broad term means any unwanted action that makes a person feel uncomfortable, regardless if they are male or female. Yes, sexual harassment against men can and does happen, especially here in Vietnam. I can tell you how I was harassed more than once because of the fact that I'm a foreigner. And when I first got here, there were a lot of young, cute, and single, and probably looking female TAs that didn't quite understand the concept that I'm a very happily married man and I don't want anything on the side. So that's a form of harassment because they're oh so interested in working with me the first day. But then when I make it clear to them that I'm happily married and I don't want anything on the side, then the next day they become very unresponsive, very sullen, sulky. They don't want to do anything. They want to sleep, play on their phone, not do what they're told, stuff like that. Yeah, that's a form of harassment. Married people have worth too. Don't focus on cute, young, and single. Married people have worth too. And also for women, because this applies to everyone, men and women, that any woman feels like that she's been sexually harassed, well, then the employer has to do something about it and make sure that it doesn't happen, either again or at all. So moving on, double D. Participate in development of the National Occupational Standards, assessment, and recognition of employees' professional skills. What this means, I think this is more of a industrial application, not really so much for English teachers. But what I think for this is the fact that they should assess and recognize employees' professional skills, which means maybe about, once a month, once every 6 months, once a year, whichever way they want to do it. They should actually test their teachers by seeing what they can do. And if they can still pass the assessment, that's great. If they can't, well, then they need to go do something else. Because some employers won't even have their teachers do a demo class. They'll just send them right into the classroom. Now, my solution is simple. All teachers do not like free demo lessons. They don't. I hate to break it to you, but no teacher likes having to do a free demo class only to be told later on that, oh, well, I'm sorry, you didn't get the job. Well, what am I supposed to do? I came out here on the bus, or I went ahead and took my moped all the way out here. Now I don't have any gas to get home. What am I supposed to do? Exactly. So pay the teachers for a demo class. Call it a cover class. Walk in there. Go ahead and watch them while they work. And if they do well, great. If they don't, well, you can still pay them, and then that's that. So that's the solution. Anywho, since we touched on the topic of sexual harassment in the workplace, the next series the next video that I'm going to do is going to 100% talk about the gender equality laws for women. Now, the gender equality laws are a series of articles within the Labor Code that specifically apply to women. And some can apply to men too. I guess it depends on the interpretation. So what I'm going to go ahead and say is I'm going to go ahead and end this video now by saying please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Comment on this video, share with your friends, generate a lot of buzz, talk about it, post on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever. Go ahead and tell people about this foreigner English teacher that actually knows about his rights and actually wants to go ahead and make the teaching profession better for everyone. And I will end this video by saying have a good day, be safe, and I honestly hope to see you all again soon for more fantastic videos.